All right, so the Fusion Festival, it went really, really well for me. So I was very surprised just how well I was able to do. And at first, I thought I was going to go with an Odd-Eyes deck. That was my original thinking. And so I actually bought the starter deck, and then I just thought, man, I just don't think this is going to be enough. So I went with what I knew, surprise, surprise. And just like I had a deck for the Synchro event with Emancipators, I already had a really good Pendulum deck. And yeah, it was the first turn kill Pendulum deck. Now, obviously, I can't consistently do it every single turn. However, with having 3 extra Foolish Burial on top of the Instant Fusion, I ran into this way more than I actually thought I would have. And I used almost every single card here. Obviously, I need the Lyralist card to make the ability for the Starving Venom to copy it, make it a 6,800 beats deck, burn for 4K, so good. Performapal Gatling Ghoul, this came up way more than I would have thought. I ended up using the burn effect quite a few times to save me in some duels. And this next card did not use one time. So the Odd-Eyes Pendulum Dragon, it never actually came up. And then the Odd-Eyes Vortex Dragon, I actually used that quite a bit in conjunction with Performapal Odd-Eyes. This card here, the Dissolver, it's just so good because it saves my card from being destroyed. And then it acts as a way to fuse. And I even use sometimes the Pendulum Fusion. So what's nice about this card here, Duelist Alliance, it gives me any Pendulum card, so it would give me the Pendulum Fusion. And then the rest of this is basically what I've had in the past. I had one Scale 8, probably should have moved it to more, but as you can see, I only have 25 Ultra Rare points, and I don't like to spend money if I don't have to. And my win rate with this deck was right around 83% out of 70 games. If it's not broke, why fix it, right? And I punted some of those. So looking at that, I felt pretty good with the 3 Odd-Eyes, the 1 Phantom Dragon for the burn effect. I also put in the 3 Persona because it's a great negation. Because it's a Fusion Festival, this allows me to negate stuff that's actually happening. So every single effect actually did come into play with every single one of the monsters that I have. So there were times where if I had to go against a trap deck, this allowed me to stop any trap cards. Great for the Banish with Timebreaker. I did use this one time to put something in the scale, which was very effective for being able to fuse. Then you've got Performapal Joker, so good, no explanation. I just used Harmonizing because it was such an easy way to get to Starving Venom, because you have to have 2 Dark Pendulum monsters. And then the rest of this, you guys know how these cards work. I mean, and again, every single one of them were absolutely clutch. So I kind of want to walk you guys through some of the replays that I saved, just so you guys can have that information. And again, I couldn't believe how I thought I really rocked the N&R festival event, and I thought I did extremely well when it came to the Synchro event. Both events, I was right around 78%, 80%. I have done better with this one, which is just shocking to me because I really thought, I'll do this until, I can make it work with other stuff that I've got. So I was really surprised. Oh, dumb gamers. You got to play it, man. The Fusion Festival's been a blast. So the first deck that I go against here is Fluffles. I did not lose, I don't think, to a Fluffle event once this entire event, which really surprised me. I would have assumed that I would have, and because it was a deck I considered playing, I just didn't have enough stuff for it to purchase everything I wanted. So again, that's why I went with Pendulum, and I had way more success with it than I would have thought. So here's the first duel that I want to walk you guys through. Oh, I get it. That's why I played this, man. So notice I have this in the hand, which is always good. So right away, Frightful Patchwork, so good. It gives you the poly. It gives you one of the Edge Imp monsters. He's got Dog. Everything is here for him to make an extremely good board. There's the polymerization now. Sends the Edge Imp Chain and the Penguin to the grave. So good. Gets out Daredevil. Okay. Uses the effect of Penguin hitting the grave. Same thing with Edge Imp Chain. Okay, this is going to resolve first, which is really good, giving him Patchwork to the hand. Great setup here. Okay, and then has to send Toy Vendor. You want to send that, so that's actually really good. That gives him Scissors. Now he's able to use Bear. Okay, ditches it, able to set a Toy Vendor directly. You can then activate, which he does. Okay, that gives him a draw if he wants here. Okay, it goes ahead and uses the Poly. Okay, so there's Saber-Tooth Tiger. That's in defense. Okay, uses the effect, targets the card that's there, puts it back. Now, I was surprised that we did not actually see him use the effect of Toy Vendor. So right away, I have a pretty good hand. So I use Chronograph Sorcerer. That gives me the special summon of Time Gazer Magician. Normal summon Supreme King Dragon. Go ahead and make the Starving Venom. Play the extra Foolish Burial. Spend the 4. Copy the Lyralist that's in the grave. Burn him for the 4. And then I go ahead and I attack for game. Yeah, I mean, Fluffos can combo well. Oh, and I forgot to mention that, just like I've done with every event, well, I should say like the Synchro event, this is a Going Blind second deck. Yes, I know, right? This shouldn't work, but it did. That's the thing that keeps getting me. I don't know how this worked as well as it did. Okay, the next one here, it was a burn deck. It was Red Eyes. I liked it. I thought it was a really fun deck, and I wanted to show it to you guys because I love it when people can get burn stuff going. Okay, so let's go ahead and see how this one came out. Yeah, it was a fun event, guys. I'm telling you, I'd rather do the events than the regular game any day. I love the events. They're so much fun. Okay, now, this is not an ideal hand. I mean, you look at what I've got here, and it looks like absolute trash, right? I mean, it's not very good. So he goes ahead and uses the Allure, before that into the Void. So he's got to use everything here. He's in big trouble, because he's got to discard it at the end phase. So goes ahead and uses Red Eyes Fusion. Now, as soon as I saw that, I thought, oh, that's good, actually. He can't actually kill me then this turn. And then I saw what he was coming out with, and I thought, oh, well, that's actually pretty good. That's going to do some decent burn. So hits me for the 12. Okay, then has the Inferno Fire Blast, hits me for 35. And then he equips here and sets everything. I'm like, hey, that's actually a pretty good first turn. Okay, that's exactly what I needed. If I didn't get the scale, it was over. Set my scale 4, scale 8, Pendulum summon 2 cards. And honestly, it all came down to this. If he had any decent trap here, it was over. Okay, there are the cards. Go ahead and get out the Starving Venom. Use the effect, paying half my life points. Copy. Then I use Black Fang Magician's effect to have his attack. Burn. And then, yeah, that's right, guys. Attack for game. It's the little things with this deck that just makes it so much fun. Because it always comes up. Like in that situation right there, I didn't use that Black Fang Magician effect very often, the scale effect, but it really came in clutch there. Okay, the next one that I've got to show you here. Okay, so notice this is Alistair the Invoked. Okay, so it's an Invoked deck. I honestly thought this was going to be the best deck of the format, right? No, it really wasn't. I was really surprised how well I was able to beat this deck. And I thought to myself, oh, come on. You start off with Macabre, a great negation. But then I realized that I can do the same thing with my Odd-Eyes card by making Vortex. So it's just interesting how the event folded out the way that it did. And I thought, man, I had way more success with this than I would have thought. Okay, so right away there's the normal summon of Alistair. Gets Invocation added to the hand. He's going to use that here. Okay, goes ahead and fuses. I saw the side frame driver, and I was actually happy about that. So there's Macabre. Okay, great stuff there. Uses the effect to shuffle this back in, and then he gets Alistair back to the hand. So that's good because that does give me hand knowledge, which is always a good thing. But here's where the Time Breaker comes in. I love this card, and here's why. Right there. I normal summon this, I use the effect, he lets it go through, and that's always my bait, because if that's their negation, I know I can take it from there. Okay, so go ahead and use Spiral Flame Strike. Go ahead and get an Odd-Eyes Pendulum Dragon. Go ahead and set up my scales here, 1 and 8. Okay, now, he activates Max C. And I thought to myself, do I really want to give him that? I don't think he can kill me in one turn. So I roll the dice and I just end my turn. I don't want to give my opponent an extra card if I don't have to. Okay, now, I never thought about this. I thought this was a good play. Keeper of the Dragon Magic, he goes ahead and he actually gets out Fusion Destiny, which leads to DPE. I thought, okay, that definitely makes sense to me that that's what he went for here. Very smart play for sure. So he's going to go ahead and smack in for the 25, smacks in for the 18, uses the effect here, but that's not going to work because I had Pendulum Call, which protects my scales. So for the turn that it's actually activated. Okay, I get the Raigeki, okay, which is actually fine. I could not have gotten a better top deck with the Raigeki because it's going to force him to do something. And I know he doesn't have the negation because he has Alistair in the hand. Remember that hand knowledge I was telling you guys about? That came in clutch there. So that resolves now. Okay, DP's effect goes off. Now, here I go ahead and I Pendulum Summon, and I'm feeling really good about what I've got on the field. I'm thinking, okay, this is going to put in some decent damage here, get out the Harmonizing Magician, and then I start doing some math. And I'm like, okay, if I go for the Starving Venom and I just make 2, this should be game. So I go ahead and attack in. Yeah, that's right, baby. Only 100 more, but it does it. I was like, yeah, buddy. Love it when I can pull something like that off. Okay, next build that I ran into. Okay, this was fun. I really respect a 60 card Ancient Gear deck. I thought, wow, this guy is all in. You know, that's definitely not the easiest thing to make. And I actually thought about running Ancient Gears because I love the deck in real life. It's super fun. It's got some really good cards for this format that I thought would do really well. But just like Dumb Gamers alluded to earlier in our video, I just don't have the points to spend. I wish I did, or I would have played more of a variety. But I'm not going to lie, I had a lot of fun playing this build. Okay, so there's the normal summon of Wervin. That gives him the box. He's going to use the box's effect, which is super good. Okay, that gives him Ancient Gear Frame. Really solid first turn. Ends right there. Now, I thought to myself, okay, I got some options here. So I go ahead and I use the Pendulum Call. Now, this was a little risky sending the 8. It really was. Because what if for some reason he had the negation? Sometimes I do roll the dice and I shouldn't. Okay? Use the Spiral Flame Strike. Okay? Gets me what I want there. Now, I do use the other one and I get another card here. Okay, then I'm going to Pendulum Summon. 1, 2, 3, and there's 4, and then use the effect. Now, good play here with the Ghost Ogre. I thought that was pretty good. And then he's got a book. I thought, okay, not bad, not bad. So, pretty solid play for the most part there. I thought that works. However, I confuse cards that are face down. Oh, yes, indeed. Okay, so I use the Performance Value Go Golem. Get the Gatling Ghoul. I use the effect because I thought to myself, I think I have enough here that I can do get him for game. So I attack in, and then I attack in for the Odd-Eyes Phantom Dragon, and I had the burn effect of it if I needed to. I mean, as you can see, every card in that deck that I chose, except for the one fusion, really did come up, and it was a lot of fun. Okay, so another Ancient Gear build. This one was really fun, though, just because this is how I would build it. I would go 40. I think 40 is without a doubt the best way to go if you're going to play this deck. It's too good not to get that first turn kill, which Ancient Gears can heavily do. But if there's a deck that does it better that's machine-based, let's be honest, it's Cyber Dragon. I mean, that's probably the better way that you're trying to go if you're trying to do that. Okay, so draw phase, you know, I've got an okay hand if I was going second. I'm not, though. So because I have to go first, and I don't like it when I have to go first, I just put the Purple Poison Magician in defense. Now, as soon as I saw this, though, I saw the Gear Town, I thought, oh no. Now, I like this tech. I forgot that Urgent Schedule would actually put in some major work here. Then he's got the normal summon of Hound, gets me with the burn effect. And then look at this. This is good stuff right here. Gets out Chaos, Ancient Gear Giant. That is good. And it's good that I didn't put any other monsters down, because this card can attack all of them. So that would have been the duel right there had I done any other summoning of something. Now, this is unaffected by spell and trap cards. So I had to get a little tricky here in order to figure this out. So what I do is I go ahead and use Spiral Flame. And then I go ahead here now and I Pendulum Summon. Now, I do have a mistake here. I get rid of the Ancient Gear Chaos Giant. But I should have had that in attack position, the Pendulum Dragon. Use the effect to pop my own card. Now Purple Poison's effect goes off, getting rid of his monster. So that actually was really good for me. Now I really like this play. Right off the bat, normal summon of Worven gives him Ancient Gear Fusion. This is so good because now he can fuse right from the deck. So this is excellent if he wanted to. Must have had all the materials he wanted in the hand, or I'm sure he would have used something else. This also does piercing damage. Now, I am able here to go ahead and use my effect. Get the special summon off. He does get some good damage in. But I know how Ancient Gears are. Once you spend all the cash, it's hard to battle back. Now, right away, the first thing that I do is I go ahead and use the effect. I go ahead and I fuse here. And when I do, I bring out Odd-Eyes Vortex Dragon. Use the effect to pop this back to the hand. Now I go ahead and Pendulum Summon. And you know what I'm bringing out. I'm bringing out the boy. Yeah, that's right. So there's Odd-Eyes Pendulum Dragon. Go ahead and attack in. And right away, there's 5k worth of damage. Now, these automatically go off. That's Time Gazer and Stargazer Magician's effects. Love that I got to use some of the staple cards there. Now, right away, I'm feeling good because I've got a negate here. Unless he's got a Kaiju, I'm feeling very positive. I don't need to overextend, and I don't plan to. So just go ahead and attack. And that's the game. So notice, I hope I'm giving you an idea of what the meta looked like for me through my 70 games. Now, I'm sure several of you are saying, okay, Chrono, where's the Despia deck? Yeah, it's here, don't worry, it's right there. I ran into this everywhere. And I won way more games than I actually lost. In fact, if you remember from the Synchro event how successful I was against True Draco, that was basically my situation here with Despia. I thought for sure that this was going to be the best deck that I faced. It was not even close. I would actually say that Dark Magician was the best deck that I actually faced, the Dark Magician builds. That deck, for some reason, I had a losing record to, and it was the only deck that I had a losing record to. I was shocked how well I did against Despia. So let me go ahead and show you how that went. Yeah, I mean, really, that just floored me because I thought, oh man, I should probably make a Despia deck. I'm sure that's going to be the deck of the format, but it just wasn't. Not at least the people I was playing against. Okay, so right away, actually a pretty good start here. Branded opening. Okay, that leads to this Despia monster coming out the level 8, which is just so good. Then after that, branded in red, which is excellent. Okay, then we've got the fusing that happens. And there's the boy. This card was everywhere in the format. It does doing all that negation, basically, which is really effective. Just so good. Okay, both cards chaining. Okay, so notice he's able to get out his card here. Alright, then he gets the effect because it was special summoned. Gets the field spell, which is really good. Uses the field spell. And I wasn't sure. I thought there might be more there. I thought we were going to see the effect where it leads to a 600 burn damage, but that did not happen. So I was very surprised by that. The card that does all that burn to you. So I just go ahead and set up my scales. I'm not afraid here because this only affects monsters that are a certain level. So I bring everything out. Okay, there's the effect. Go ahead and fuse. Okay, now right away he takes it to 0, or he negates its effect. Okay, so right here he goes ahead and uses that, but it's a level 8 monster, and it's a dragon, so I'm perfectly fine. Use the Lyreless card. Go ahead and copy to see if I could. I could not. Go ahead and use it with the real card that can. Use it to burn for the 4, burn for the 5, and then battle phase. Oh yeah, love it. And guys, I hit that a lot. I mean, we're talking a lot. When I was playing against this deck, most people get out the card that does every time you activate an effect, you take the 600 burn. But I was just really surprised just how much I faced that deck in one. And I'll give you a better preview when I do the in-depth analysis later. Okay, so the next one here. Oops, sorry, wrong thing. So this is just a basic Blue Eyes build. I definitely respect that. It's fun to play Blue Eyes. So if you can do stuff with this, it's definitely a good time for sure. And I did see quite a variety of decks, which was nice. I think that's one thing that these events suffer from is when they don't have that rich variety that players are looking for. Nobody wants to face the same deck over and over again. And what was interesting to me, I didn't see a single person playing a Pendulum build, not one. So I thought that was really interesting that no one was playing this out there. Now, I thought, oh, that's crazy. You just left this out. There has to be some sort of bait with that. That was my first thinking. There has to be. So right away, I just go ahead and Pendulum. Now, I did get a really good draw here with the Pendulum Fusion. I felt pretty good about that because that allows me to make Odd-Eyes Vortex. So I thought, okay, well, this is good. I can definitely do something with this. So I bring it out. Now, right away, though, he uses the Effect Veiler. Now, I could have tried to chain to that, but I didn't want to. And I thought, oh, there's why he normal summoned that. And so I thought, that's fine. So I go ahead and activate just to do it even though I can't. I know my card's going to die. And honestly, that's okay because I still have the negation with the Persona Dragon. So I actually felt pretty good about my situation there. So right away, Melody of the Awakening Dragon. Such a good card. Gives him a Blue Eyes. Probably gives him an alternative. Yeah, there's the alternative. So successful. Reveals the Blue Eyes. That will special the alternative. And honestly, that's fine. So he just hits in my card. No damage for me. Everything's good. Remember when this was meta, guys, for like, oh gosh, what, maybe a short little season? Right around the time of Nationals, actually. Okay, so right away, I go into battle phase here. Use my Performapal Odd-Eyes Dissolver to save it. Main phase 2, though, I'm going to go ahead and use the effect. Fuse both my cards here, and that's going to make Vortex. Now, I don't want the Vortex in attack position because the Blue Eyes monsters are stronger. So I just pop that back, but it's not stronger than the 3000 defense, which is a really good in this matchup. You want something that can protect like that. So it goes ahead and reveals, special summons the Blue Eyes alternative, normal summons Sage with Eyes of Blue. I'm not using the effect. That would be crazy if I did something like that there, because then he could use the pop effect of Alternative Dragon. Now, I like my draw. It's a really solid draw, actually. So I go ahead and I Pendulum Summon here. Get out Astrograph Sorcerer as well. Now, I go ahead and I hit in first for 25. Good damage, right? Main phase 2, I go ahead and fuse. Go for Supreme King Starving Venom. Target Blue Eyes White alternative. Use the effect to pop his card. Now his field is wide open. Absolutely love the effect of Starving Venom. Okay, so he's got an end there, which is actually super good for me. Okay, could not have been better. Normal summon the Joker, use the effect, and I get Timebreaker Magician. Put everything to attack position, go ahead and Pendulum Summon, get everything out in the process. There's the Astrograph Sorcerer, there's the Timebreaker Magician, use the effect to banish, and yeah guys, there's nothing else that can happen here for this person. And that's the game. Again, it's the little touches of the deck where you know, okay, I'm really going to need something here for this situation that makes Pendulums just such a solid choice. Okay, next one. Now, I was very surprised by this. I did see this several times. The Sacred Beast deck, it's a solid choice. I mean, this is a very good deck. One that can definitely put in quite a bit of work if you get it going the proper way. So this is a very interesting build to go against because once it gets going, it can be very difficult to combat. Okay, so not the best hand necessarily. I mean, I can make it work, but if he's got negations, I'm in serious trouble. So right away, we've got Skyfire. Now this is a negation, so as soon as I saw this, I thought, uh-oh, that's a problem. I gotta make sure I bait that somehow. So there's opening of the Spirit Gates, really good card. Just puts in so much work with Fallen Paradise. Dark Summoning Beast is used, there's Haman. Now there's the Fallen Paradise, uses the effect, gets the Pot of Greed effect, just ridiculously good. Gets the special summon here of Chaos Summoning Beast, banishes one, that gives him the other Sacred Beast monster, uses the effect, and there's Lord of the Phantasms coming out. Yeah, really strong opening hand, honestly. So 2 4K beaters on the field, but I felt really good about my top deck. So right away, I used the effect here of Joker. Now, he does use Max C. I can't afford to do what I did earlier and risk it. I have to do the Max C challenge now, where if he gets and draws into a negate, he draws into a negate. There's nothing that I can do because of what he has on the field. I have to keep going. So go ahead and set up my Pendulum Scale, use Pendulum Call, send a Dissolver to the grave, go ahead and get out what I've got. Feeling pretty good, honestly. Now, here's where I used the negate. So notice I wanted that to happen. That had to happen. If not, I can't get that extra Foolish Burial out. I have to have a way to get that off. Pendulum Summon everything, use the effect of Harmonizing, get out Stargazer Magician, go ahead and get out Supreme King Starving Venom Dragon, same thing again, pay half my life points, send the Lyrilisk, use both effects here, and if I don't have to attack, why should I, right? And then I burn for the game. Just so strong. Okay. All right, and I think we got, yeah, just 2 more here. All right, and then again, same type of deck, right? Okay. This is what I wanted to show off, though, was how to deal properly with Called by the Grave, because I can't tell you how many times this came up, which is also why the Odd-Eyes cards are in this build. This was massive how many times I had to deal with this. And, well, I'll just show you. I don't want to prelude, but many of you have probably already figured it out. Okay. So, obviously, I like my hand. It's a very good hand, having Duelist Alliance there. So, again, opening of the Spirit Gates, so effective. Okay, normal summons Dark Beckoning Beast. Okay, uses the effect. Okay, uses the effect here now of the card. Okay, there it leads to the summon, or the special summon. Okay, and then there's Lord of the Phantasms. Okay, and then he gets another special summon off. Okay, gets the card back. Just so good. Now, sets 1. This is why I absolutely love Spiral Flame Strike. Right here. Because I have to hit that card. And notice it was the Called By. That came up so many different times with the decks that I faced, where if I didn't have that, I was in huge trouble. Now, the Pendulum Call going off the Supreme King Dark Worm is so good. because it leads to a special, that leads to an extra card coming to my hand. Pendulum scale, now I'm able to pendulum summon. No fear of what my opponent's doing unless he has the Primal Being. Okay, go ahead and then do it again. Activate Extra Foolish Burial, and this is why it was so important, guys. I lose this duel probably. Use the effect and just keep burning. And that's the game. Flame's Spiral Strike is such a great card, because if you're playing an Odd-Eyes build, it's a no-brainer because it either gives you a resource or allows you to remove one. I love cards like that in Yu-Gi-Oh! They do such a great job. Okay, last one we're going to look at, and then I'll start to go over all the different decks that I built so you guys can see the actual breakdown. I always feel that's super important. So I thought this would be the second best deck of the format. I really did. I thought first you would have some sort of Alistair branded deck. That's what I was thinking. Oh, I take that back. Or I thought you'd see Shadal. I did. I did lose to a Shadal build when I was facing one. But I for some reason, I just didn't see people playing it like I thought they would. My guess is it's too expensive gem-wise or point-wise. But this is such a solid deck because Colossus stops the getting resources to the hand, and then you've got Thunder Dragon Titan that's just so good. So I wanted to show you how this one went, because I did run into this deck. This is definitely something that's a legitimate threat. Okay, love that background. A little bit of wind, right? Okay, perfect hand, honestly. This could not be better for me. So normal summon Joker. He uses Max C. I love it when people do that preemptively, because I figure, well, if you're going to do that, why am I going to give you an extra resource? So I go ahead and put the purple Poison Magician down, use Duelist Alliance. That gives me Pendulum Call. Okay, activate Spiral Flame Strike. That gives me Odd-Eyes Pendulum Dragon. End phase, use it, okay, so that I get a card of my choice, and I go for Timebreaker Magician. So, no extra cards for you, sir. I think so many times people are like, oh yeah, I'm going to get so plus off that. I would rather risk rolling the dice and seeing what happens. So, uses the Foolish Burial here, and it's good. The way this guy's playing is very solid. Uses the Thunder Dragon Fusion. That's going to lead to a really great card here, because there's Titan, so strong, very difficult to combat. 2 face downs, goes and attacks in. Now, I was so pumped about this. So he actually went to attack me, and I could use Purple Poison's effect, getting Aloof taken care of. Now, right away, I like my hand. It's good. Normal summon Timebreaker Magician. Use the effect to banish. Then I'm going to go ahead and pitch the Spiral Flame Strike. And now I'm feeling fantastic, because now I've got a pretty solid hand. Okay? And I did not use the Persona Dragon, because I wanted the negation, knowing what he's playing. I thought that would come in pretty clutch. So, there's Odd-Eyes Pendulum Dragon. There's my negation. Use the effect of Harmonizing Magician. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and fuse. That brings out Supreme King Starving Venom. Go ahead and start attacking in. And I thought to myself, well, there's a very good chance he'll make another Colossus, or not a Colossus, Titan. And I thought, that's fine, actually. And the reason I felt that way is because the only thing that could happen is attacking over, because I have Persona Dragon. So I was pretty content with that, but something must have went awry, because there was nothing else that could be done. And I thought, oh, what are the odds of getting the instant fusion off the top? I thought, man, sometimes you just got the draws. Okay, use the effect here. Copy the Leerless card. Activate. Burn for game. It's just so good and consistent. So I'm going to go ahead and walk you guys through some of the matchups now that I went through. Okay, so like I said, I want to walk you through some of the decks that I faced. So this deck really caught me off guard. It feels like one that I kind of punted, but it's because I didn't hit the trap.
Notice I faced another Sacred Beast deck just like we talked about earlier. Oh, actually, I think that was the same one. I think that that match was like that. Now, the Predaplant deck, I had no problem against that. I'm not even sure if I lost a single match against it. That was by far one of my easiest decks. Same thing here with this Sacred Beast deck. It does play DPE. A lot of these decks did, but they didn't have a real consistent way to always find it. So because of that, definitely led to probably some awkward building, which worked in my favor. So here's another Despia deck. It definitely had lots of good stuff to fuse, lots of stuff, good stuff to make, but I usually had no problem getting over it. Even though it's got a solid negation in one of its fusion monsters, it just really couldn't stop me with everything that I was doing. I really thought I would have seen more Cyber Dragons. I didn't, which honestly was fine with me, just because that deck can get pretty ridiculous sometimes. But yeah, it wasn't an issue whatsoever. Like the Fossil Dig there, I thought that was kind of funny that I got to face a deck like that. Now, this one I absolutely punted. I was so close. And unfortunately, with my Odd-Eyes Vortex, I ended up negating the wrong thing. Another Fluffle build, no problem whatsoever. They just didn't have enough to stop me with me going second. This was shocking to me, really. Toon World in this event. Not exactly what I was anticipating. Again, another Predaplant variant. They would sometimes use the Super Poly on me, which is effective, but yeah, it wasn't that tough. Okay, there was the Shadal build that I mentioned earlier in the video. I think it's the only one I faced. There's the Thunder Dragon build that I also went against. Again, it wasn't an issue, especially with the way I was able to bait it out with my time breaker. I was surprised I didn't see more Elemental Hero or Destiny Hero builds. That really surprised me with this meta. I was expecting the Red Eyes ones like you guys just saw there, but I just thought that there'd be more. It just was shocking to me that there wasn't. This really threw me. The one where it's the dragon, the cursed dragon archetype. I did not anticipate that coming. Now, Zombie World was a deck I really thought I would have seen more of, just because, you know, Doom King, it's quite a deck to go against. I just thought I'd see it more than I did. So notice I started off okay. I think I lost my first 5. And I thought, okay, 75%, that's still not bad. You know, I can handle that. And then I go against another Destiny build / hero stuff. And I thought, okay, that's expected. But what I wasn't expecting is how much winning I would end up doing through this. I mean, I had quite the streak going at one point. In fact, I think I had an 18-game win streak at one time. And I just kept going through one deck after another, where either they didn't have the cards that they wanted, or I was just able to power through. It just really surprised me how well Odd-Eyes did for the event. Notice tons of Destiny Hero. Maybe I guess I did face more than I thought. I really didn't think I saw it that much, but now that I'm looking at the replay, I see it's kind of mixed with the branded stuff, so maybe that's why I was thinking that I didn't see it so often now that I'm looking back. I did chuckle when I saw this build, the one that's the equip and you keep attacking. I thought, oh, okay, I'm not sure that's really going to work in this kind of event, guys. I did see some Blue Eyes builds. That was definitely something that was consistent. Saw that several times. Really didn't have a problem with it. There's the Despia deck, though. Notice, again, got a win against it. And really, once you get rid of the 600 beater and you find a way past their negate, there's not much they can do. I feel like that's the best turn that most of the ones I faced put out there. So it really wasn't that difficult for me. Another Sacred Beast deck. Again, Fallen of Albaz Despia deck. Very solid build, but no problem. Yeah, so I was feeling very confident based on how I did. I thought, man, I'm really moving here. Now, this one that I ended up losing, what ended up happening, I just didn't have a scale. If I had a scale, I would have won the duel much sooner. But unfortunately, he was able to get enough combo pieces off. There was nothing I could do. I did run into that Mirror Force, but I had my Vortex Dragon out there, and I was able to negate it. Oh, did that feel satisfying? I thought, oh yeah. Okay, Dragon Maid, I was really surprised I didn't see more of that. But here it is, guys. This deck right here was one of the best decks I faced. That was a house. The Gamma one with Zeta, Beta, all of them. That was a really great deck when that, I mean, he got off everything he intended on me, and I had no way past it. I mean, I had to draw either the extra Foolish Burial or the Instant Fusion because I had no other way to power through. The deck was just absolutely amazing. And here by far was the best deck that killed me. I just could not figure out how to get past that Dark Magician build. I know how to beat it, but with the deck that I had and the hands that I had against it, I just really could not figure out a way to get past it, which really surprised me. I thought I would have had more of a shot against it, if that makes sense. Now, again, another loss to it, not too surprising, because, man, once the Banish effect goes off, and especially if you get Skill Drain, there's really nothing that can be done at that point. Blackwing made me laugh. I thought, wow, how are you going to pull that off in this event? I mean, I could see it in the Synchro event. Not in that event, though, in the Fusion one. Another Blue Eyes build, which went really well. Yeah, I had really no issue with Blue Eyes. Yeah, they're big beat sticks, but not very difficult to combat. Another Ancient Gear build, no issue whatsoever. Because again, once they run out of resources, it's really hard for them to battle back. So not bad. And again, there's another loss. I don't think I even beat the deck. Now, this surprised me. People have been talking about how True Draco is in the format. And the person who I was facing had the perfect hand. He had a Skill Drain. He had the Monarch's Erupt. I mean, he had everything he needed to really slow me down there, which was pretty effective. I thought it was very interesting. Another Fallen of Albaz Despia deck. No problem there. And again, I thought it'd be the best deck of the format. I really did. And it just didn't turn out that way. And it's just funny how Yu-Gi-Oh! Can be like that, where you think, okay, this deck's going to be the deck of the format. And then it's just not, which is really surprising. Now, a lot of these that you're seeing that I went in 2 turns, I more than likely had the Instant Fusion. There was also a very good chance that I had the extra Foolish Burial. Everything like that really ended up making a big difference when it came to those matches. So as you can see, I was on a tear at this point once I really got the deck going, close to an 18-game win streak. And it just kept rolling. I mean, I just kept having one good situation after another. Again, I showed that to you earlier, that burn deck. That was really fun to face. I thought that was good, the Alistair build. That definitely was something I was anticipating to see more. I just didn't see it. More Predaplant stuff, which, it's definitely, I think, a fun deck, but it just didn't seem to have any answer for what I was trying to do. Now, looking over some of these profiles that we are looking at, I think a lot of these players were like me. What do I already have that I can play? Now, there's only 5 matches there because that was the next 5 to 20. I had only shown you 15 at that point. So then after that, a solid build. Real surprised that, again, I had no problem with it, especially with everything that he was playing. Another Alistair branded deck. But yeah, I mean, everything was working for me in the right direction. When I was looking back at some of this. Some of these are definitely some funky builds, but I appreciate that. That was a real fun match going against the King of the Skull Servants deck. Really fun, especially when I was able to power up and then go into something big, huge like I was. I think I really surprised my opponent. So it was very satisfying. I think that's the best way to put it for how that deck ended up working out. Was really surprised I didn't see more of that. Luna Lights are really fun and consistent, and they work well. They're not also very expensive to make. So I thought that was definitely something I would see more. That deck was blinged out hardcore. So as you can see, the Invoked deck really wasn't that difficult for me. I was happy to finally get a win there against Dark Magician. But that one was playing an Alistar version, so I don't count it like I do the other ones. That one I was able to find a way to win. So yeah, I mean, overall, I think the event went really well, and yeah, guys, I'd encourage you to try it. So if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. We'd love to have you guys be subscribers to the channel. Also, if you ever want to catch what we're doing live, we'd love to have you guys be a part of our Twitch community. Hey, thanks again so much for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.
Okay, here we go. Right there. Good. Back to the pitcher. Hurry, Elijah, hurry.
I know that you'll be back.